Hi there, thank you for joining us on another captivating episode of your favorite program, Sunday Special, right here on NT Lagos Channel 10. Tonight, we are delighted to set the mood for your evening relaxation with exciting and engaging features designed to keep you glued to your television screens for the next few minutes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. But first, let's begin with the news of the day. I'm Essie Owamaka. The federal government has introduced a framework aimed at resolving the prolonged industrial dispute with the joint health sector unions, JHESU, assuring health workers that the long-awaited review of the Consolidated Health Salary Structure (COHES) is still under active consideration. The government's response follows a joint statement by the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, which accused the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare of deliberately failing to implement the 2021 report of the Technical Committee on COHES Adjustment. In a press release signed by the Director of Information and Public Relations, Alaba Balogun, the ministry dismissed claims of intentional inaction on the committee's report or discrimination against any category of health workers. It reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to maintaining industrial harmony in the health sector. The ministry noted that several conciliatory meetings have been held with JHESU since the strike began, both at the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, despite the union's decision to seek intervention from the National Industrial Court of Nigeria. Addressing the no work, no pay policy, the ministry stated that should JHESU suspend the strike in good faith, the matter would be handled administratively. It also expressed readiness to continue engaging the NLC and TUC in subsequent negotiations. The federal government emphasized its commitment to achieving a fair and lasting resolution through dialogue, mutual respect, and equity across all professional cadres in the health sector. And in talking education, ahead of the United Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, scheduled for 16th to 25th April, Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, Professor Ishak Oloyede, says only candidates who will be 16 by 30th September 2026 are eligible for admission. Underage candidates may be considered for a waiver after a thorough evaluation process. Joy Pukola reports JAMB and Education Commissioners across the country reached an agreement on addressing examination malpractice.
The meeting between JAMB and the Commissioners of Education from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT is part of the preparatory process for this year's examination to ensure all stakeholders align with JAMB's objectives to guard against some of the nefarious activities in the previous year. The Registrar, Professor Isaac Oloyede, says registration of candidates will now be monitored live by JAMB to eliminate sharp practices at the point of registration, adding that the price of the application form remains the same. While the sale of application documents, which is the e-PIN, is already ongoing and will end on the 26th of February, registration is expected to commence from January 26 and end on February 28. Mock examination is scheduled for March 28, while direct entry application will begin on March 2nd and close on April 25th.
I believe your assistance will go a long way in making JAMB better. When you are talking of admitting somebody for technology and changing him to geography or something, if he protests to us, we will act. But if he allows himself to go to geography, he's ruined forever, because NYC will not allow him to go on NYC.
The Commissioners of Education say they remain committed to tackling examination fraud and effective monitoring of the registration and examination to ensure compliance with the guidelines.
It's our duty as honorable commissioners in our respective subnationals to ensure conform completely.
We are creating a common platform with the JAMB and the JAMB registrar himself, where if there are issues, we can directly talk to them.
The commissioners are expected to sensitize candidates and schools in their states on the need to avoid running more than one undergraduate program, which will attract sanctions and early registration to be in their preferred towns. In Lagos, Joel Bokbola, NTA News.
Now to drug-related issues. A 30-year-old Brazilian lady has been arrested by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, with white heroin concealed in factory-sealed coffee packs worth more than 3 billion in street value. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim tells us more.
The suspect, who works as a private security officer in Brazil, was arrested at the Abuja airport upon her arrival following intelligence reports. A search was conducted on her 2 checked-in bags, where 21 factory-sealed packets of Brazilian coffee were found. Inside them were white substances that later tested positive for heroin, weighing a total of 30.09 kilograms, making it the single largest heroin seizure at the Abuja airport. And from the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos, NDLEA operatives intercepted 2 passengers heading to Istanbul, Turkey, with a total of 3,990 pills of tramadol concealed in food items. Meanwhile, operatives of the Marine Command of the agency intercepted a wooden boat loaded with 44 jumbo bags of Ghana Loud, a strain of cannabis weighing 1,848 kilograms, at the Jakonde Beach in Lekki, Lagos. As part of effort to disrupt the supply chain of illicit drugs to terrorist groups, NDLEA operatives in Borno State intercepted 179,590 pills of tramadol and diazepam concealed in sacks of charcoal and animal feed in a public transport car coming from Potiskum, Yobe State. And following the seizure of a consignment of 98,500 pills of tramadol in a truck coming from Lagos, a female suspect was arrested in Mokwa, Niger State. Her husband, who is currently remanded in prison and facing trial, was arrested for the same drug trafficking offense last year. A village head and another suspect have been taken into custody by the Edo State Command of NDLEA after a raid operation in Esan Southeast Local Government Area, where 681 kilograms of skunk and 181 kilograms of cannabis seeds were recovered from them. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
And in the sporting world, Nigerian international and Celtic striker Kelechi Iheanacho has returned to training with his club following a spell on the sidelines due to injury. For details and more, let's join Suleiman Musa on Sports Update.
Representative in the CAF Champions League, Rivers United are still searching for their first win in the competition after playing out a goalless draw with Power Dynamos in Zambia. The Nigerian side found it difficult to break down their host's resolute defense and had to settle for a share of the spoils in a closely fought contest. Rivers United, who are in Group A, remain winless after earlier defeats to RSB Berkane and Egypt's Pyramids FC. They currently sit bottom of the table with just 1 point from 3 matches. With only a few games left in the group stage, Coach Finidi George's side now face a daunting task in their bid to reach the knockout rounds. Elsewhere, injured Super Eagles and Celtic forward Kelechi Iheanacho has returned to training after spending almost a month on the sidelines. The Nigerian international has been out of action since December 2025, but Celtic manager Martin O'Neill has confirmed that the striker is back on the training pitch. His return will be a boost to both Celtic and the Super Eagles as he continues to recover and work towards full match fitness. In another development, Nigeria's senior men's handball team, the Golden Arrows, have set up a Sunday quarter-final showdown against Angola at the ongoing African Men's Handball Nations Cup in Kigali, Rwanda. The Nigerian side delivered a commanding performance to defeat hosts Rwanda 30-20 to finish top of Group A. The victory capped a dominant group stage campaign that secured the team a quarter-final spot. And finally, Carlos Alcaraz equaled his best run at the Australian Open by beating Tommy Paul in a straight set to reach the quarterfinals The world number one, who is yet to drop a set at Melbourne Park, has made no secret of his desire to claim the title and become the youngest man ever to complete a career Grand Slam of all 4 major crowns, having trashed Paul in last year's French Open quarterfinals and beating him in 4 sets at Wimbledon in 2024. Alcaraz gave the 19th seed a hard-court humbling with a 7-6, 6-4, 7-5 win at Rod Laver Arena. With Sport Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
Away from the news segment now, Sunday Special will return shortly after this timeout to join us again.
Presents glucose syrup, sugar and corn into a liquefied sugar of natural origin. The most sought after glucose syrup by commercial food production companies as an introduction of candy, beer, and certain canned food, and pre-made baked goods like biscuit and cookies. Sona Maltings Glucose Syrup. It's made by Sona Maltings Limited. Sona Maltings Glucose Syrup, king in liquefied sugar.
Hi everyone, this is Ida Emmanuel Chibike, and we are right here in Great John Bosco Nigeria Limited. It's located in 48 Tedusho Road, right here in Suliri, Lagos. Are you an interior designer, an architect, a builder, and you actually looking for a place to get your furnitures and also quality fabrics like curtains for your homes? Great John Bosco is actually one of the best places to get that. We are situated here in Lagos, Nigeria, right here in Tedusho, and we have branches in Abuja and also on the island, that's in Lekki Phase 1. We have from the ranges of Turkish fabrics, American fabrics, Italian fabrics, and what have you. We have them in different categories and in different collections. You can also check us online. We are active online on our social media handles. Our Instagram handle is actually Great John Bosco, and also on Facebook at Great John Bosco. This is Great John Bosco Nigeria Limited, your one-stop shop for all interior needs. Don't hesitate to come by our store here in Tedusho, which is the main head office, to see quality designs and fabrics for your need.
What does wellness sound like?
It sounds like this.
Clean, pure, naturally refreshing. Every drop, purified with purpose. Crafted using eco-friendly processes and state-of-the-art filtration systems. It's not just water. It's smart water for smart people.
At home, in the office, at your next event or lounge, stay sharp. Stay hydrated.
Southern Spa Premium Water. Available in 75 c-litre bottles and 19-litre refills.
Call 0802-331-8305 or 0913-816-0191 to place your order today.
Southern Spa Premium Water for health and living.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Sunday Special, our weekend magazine program where we celebrate people, events, and culture. And now to some celebration stories. It was a colorful display of culture and rich tradition as family, friends, and well-wishers gathered in their numbers to witness the traditional marriage ceremony of Temi Dayo and Temi Tope. Umetere Chidu was at the event for Sunday Special.
It was a spectacle of pomp and pageantry at the traditional marriage ceremony of Temi Dayo and Temi Tope, as family members and friends gathered in large numbers to celebrate the union of the couple, having met all traditional rites and fulfilled the required customs. The groom and his family proudly performed every obligation in accordance with age-long tradition, sealing the bond between both families. Elegantly and gorgeously adorned, the bride was gracefully ushered in by her friends to formally meet her husband, as family members and well-wishers looked on in admiration.
Hello, my dear. Hello, my dear. Hello, my dear. Hello, my dear.
Amidst joy and celebration, family and friends offered words of counsel to the newlywed, urging them to remain patient with one another and to guard their marriage against third-party interference.
My prayer is for their progress. You understand, the progress, and I plan how they will behave, and secondly, business-wise. I will just tell them to communicate more, trust each other, and just for them to just be sharing work together without no outside person to intervene in their relationship.
There is no perfect marriage, but tolerance for both of them.
And I'm really happy for them. Wish them best of luck in life.
Others encouraged the couple to be prayerful, emphasizing the importance of putting God first in all their endeavors.
My advice to them is, with my daughter, to have patience with the family of their husband, and then to have patience with the husband.
To be caring and obey their husband.
My advice to them to get peace to each other, do not fight.
Clearly excited, the couple shared heartfelt reflection on what drew them to each other, expressing gratitude for the journey that brought them together.
I'm his former apprentice, so from then we build the love, trust, and every other thing from then. So that's why I said this one is able and capable of being my husband.
He was one of my best students during that time, and he has a lot of qualification that I can go with, because even though if I'm off shop, on shop, like, she always take everything. She will make sure everything is in order in the studio. Because if someone like her is in your life, you have a long way to go, because she will plan your life with you and every other thing.
Indeed, it was a memorable occasion, one filled with laughter, music, and merriment, as family came together to unwind, refresh, and celebrate with an abundance of food and drink to crown the joyous event. In Lagos, Ometere Chidu, NTA News.
Oh wow, beautiful and captivating moments right there. And here is wishing Temidayo and Temitope a beautiful married life ahead. Now to some enlightening stories. Before now, some professions were seen as exclusive field for a certain gender, and the trend continued for several years. However, these days it appears nobody cares about gender sensitiveness or any profession. So our correspondent takes a look at the influx of men in the profession, which was once considered female-dominated field, and how they are faring.
It is no longer news that some men are venturing into the women's world. What is new is the rate at which more men are taking to these businesses, one of which is hairdressing and cosmetics application. A trip around Lagos reveals that more men are even establishing beauty salons, and expectedly, they are enjoying good patronage from the opposite sex.
The men know how to treat women better, but the females, they feel, is she not a woman like me?
I prefer him handling my hair if he can do it to my taste.
Abe is a young man in his late 20s. He has taken to the hairdressing business as a means of survival.
At first, starting this kind of business, I was shy to tell my friends, my female and my male counterpart, that this is what I do. They don't even know what I do, because when I was learning, I was I would just have to put my mannequins in my bag with them not knowing that I'm going to learn, because I would tell them I'm making hair, stuff like that.
Abe is not alone in this perceived feminine business. There are other young men who are also engaged in the hair business.
I only quit my catering work because of this hair, because I love women then. So I try to learn this work. We are taking over
And this is just the beginning. They've not seen anything yet. So I keep on challenging women all the time. Female stylists, I keep on challenging them.
When they are making their customers hair, they always focus. They don't talk. Maybe they'll tell you, get me that cotton, get me that tissue, get me that blade.
Some of them have male apprentices.
I love the passion I have for it. And I can't, whenever my mom goes to make hair, if I see the money she normally pays, it's just paining me because I was like, God, so there's a lot of money in this business.
Some female apprentices grudgingly admit that some of the men are doing better in the hair business.
Very fast, and at the end of the day, you will see what he's doing. That his work is very neat, and I give kudos to him.
These men, however, have their embarrassing moments on the job.
So I don't know about the weave on. It's my first time fixing it. And it's the customer, it's like 150,000. Then I cut the wheel. I spoiled it for her. So unfortunately she accepts, but I believe that's my very disappointment about this work.
While the feminine folk have ventured into male-dominated business, the men doing same cannot but be a welcome development.
Okay, that's it. Now to health matters. The mention of cancer readily suggests an incurable health condition that usually leads to death. However, oncologists have been sensitizing the public on cancer and available treatment options. Musa Toliat in this report takes a look at prevalence of cancer and why experts say it is not a death sentence.
World Health Organization statistics, cancer is the second leading cause of death globally, accounting for an estimated 9.6 million deaths, or 1 in 6 deaths. Countries across the world are grappling with the cancer burden, which continues to grow globally, causing tremendous physical, emotional, and financial strain on health systems, individuals, families, and communities. According to oncologists, cancer cases in Nigeria have been on steady increase, especially breast cancer, which is more prevalent among women than men.
The estimated incidence for breast cancer, which is the commonest that we see in female, is about 27%. Out of 12 new cases, we may end up seeing like breast cases that are 8.
The death of cancer specialists, known as oncologists, is also a major challenge.
We're about 100. We do not have enough oncologists in Nigeria, all right? We're training, but the Japa syndrome has also affected the field of oncology. However, there are some states without oncologists.
Suffice it to say that cancer is not a death sentence. 43-year-old Favor is a cancer survivor with 4 kids and a spouse.
I was diagnosed of breast cancer in 2019, which turned my world upside down. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to do this chemotherapy no matter what it takes. So I want to encourage everyone out there also to do your regular screening, be cancer aware, be proactive with your health, and do all it takes to stay healthy.
Knowing the causes of cancer leads to prevention of the scourge.
As you are getting older, you have a higher chance of getting those cancers. There are some patients, they have a strong family history of cancer.
Early detection and diagnosis of cancer raises hope of survival, but the cost of screening comes with huge financial burden.
Some patients, they don't even have money for those investigations. So it's that bad. But then talking about the advanced investigations like PET CT scan or PSMA PET, they're running into like $1 million or over $1 million.
Intervention from government at all levels will go a long way to ease cancer financial burden on the citizenry.
All right, the message is clear. Cancer is not a death sentence. Early detection remains key to prevention of cancer. This is where we draw the curtain on this week's edition of Sunday Special. Let's do this again, same time, same station next week. Until then, do have a pleasant week. I'm Essie Omaka, and it's bye for now.